Hello everyone, I am Taureor and welcome to my newest Hearts of Iron 4 challenge video. I have promised you Iceland, and here it is. A country with no manpower and no factories. Can we make it? Yes, we can. In order to play Iceland, we have to play Denmark and then release Iceland. Regular difficulty, Ironman, historical focuses. Play. Let's call it Ironman Iceland. And let's go. Also, if this video gets, say, 30,000 likes within a week, I'm going to play the most difficult start I can think of in this game. Because, you know, we've been ramping up the difficulty from challenge to challenge, getting more and more impossible stuff. So let's just go straight for the most difficult thing, and then maybe we can end that. Then I can go to playing calm, relaxing games like Poland. So what's the most difficult start I can think of? I believe that would have to be Luxembourg. But Taureor, you might say, you already played Luxembourg and annexed everything. Well, yes. That is why I'm going to play Luxembourg in 1939, when it's about to be attacked by Germany. So yeah, 30,000 likes within a week for this video. I'll play Luxembourg in 1939, Ironman and all that. And if it doesn't get the likes, that's fine too. I won't have to play Luxembourg 1939. So enough with the introductions. We are Denmark and we are going to be releasing Iceland. But before we do that, I'm going to select all our units and disband them. And we're going to do the same thing to the fleet. Oh, we can't because for some reason it costs political power. Whatever. We're also going to do the same thing to the planes. Why? Well, essentially, if I understand correctly, manpower is derived from specific territories. And if Denmark was using manpower from Iceland, then when we released Iceland, our manpower would be that much lower. Anyway, let's do it. Iceland, release nation, release as independent, and play as. There we go. We are now Iceland. We have almost no manpower and we have 0 factories. No factories whatsoever. That's fine, I can work with that. First, let's do political effort and some research. 3 research slots, which is pretty decent. We're going to need a doctrine. Let's do superior firepower because it's superior. Also, some electronic mechanical engineering as well as industry stuff. And let's go. We're going to have to wait quite a long time before we can actually do anything. And our leader is Sven Bjornsson. He has unsettling eyes and impressive ears. All important qualities in a leader. We have no factories and no manpower. Well, that's not true. We don't have 0 manpower. We have 1.16 manpower, which is enough for 1 battalion of infantry. Don't worry, we'll make it work. Let's get naval effort going. We do have 30 convoys, but we can build more. And that will give us 3 factories, although they will be dockyards, so not that useful. Also, we have enough political power to hire someone. We're going to hire a fascist demagogue. That is necessary. Naval effort is done, industrial now, and going fascist will do 3 good things for us. First, it will let us form an alliance with Germany or Japan, whichever we choose. Second, it's going to let us use war economy and stuff like that. And third, it is going to let us do militarism, which gives us lots of manpower and... oh boy, do we need that. Let's do free trade. I will do armament effort first, so we can actually start producing equipment. Open up political discourse. We are not in a rush to switch, but when we do, our economy will be better. No need to discredit government or do anything like that. We just wait until we get enough support to do the referendum. Concentrated industry, 2. Right, we got our first military factory. Time to produce guns. We will need more military factories and more stuff, but that can wait a bit. Now let's focus on construction efforts so that we can get all the bonuses to research that happen later on. Go to invent fascists in government. Yes, of course, we intend to turn fascist, so that only helps us. Now we wait. Fascist assault divisions. Wonderful. We should probably start training the unit that we're going to be using. Yes, 1. Then again, we won't be able to deploy it with so little manpower. Let's train a smaller unit, deploy it and then switch it to a bigger one. And then we're going to spend years accumulating manpower to fill it. Fascists influence foreign policy. Gladly. We have some free civilian factories. I'm going to build 1 civilian and 1 military for now. It's going to take years. And you have enough fascist support to switch the government. Let's do that. And we have a much less interesting looking leader now. Our stability has decreased, but now we have access to stuff like war economy. It's important to realize something in planning out this strategy. We don't have to hurry. I mean, we really don't have to hurry. We're not going to do anything until like 1941. Let's deploy the unit, switch it to infantry. Yes, we don't have enough manpower for that, that's not a problem. And we're going to exercise you guys in the field. We're also going to hire a military theorist. I'm going to need that military experience from him. Also, a boost on the doctrines is something we can enjoy. Let's research artillery. Hindenburg disaster. So unfortunate. Generic military theorist. Well, that's a little rude to the guy, isn't it? We're going to need all that military experience because I intend to make that unit quite useful. Japan attacked China. Let's get the extra research slot. And radio, I'm going to be relying on support companies a little bit. Let's join the Japanese faction. We will be getting involved in the war with China. And why would we do that if shadow puppeting is dead? Well, maybe it isn't. Japan is calling us to war. We're not going to accept yet, because we want our stability to be high, but we will do that eventually. We could of course use that war to do total mobilization and women in the workforce, but it's not really worth it. Let's do war economy and secret weapons. We have done secret weapons. Let's use that to increase our research. Competing machine. Let's get some more military factories. We're going to be using them on support equipment and artillery and cars once we research that. How's the unit doing? Training all the time. Let's get ourselves a commander and another one. He looks older, so I'm going to promote him. And you're going to be offensive. You know, I should probably go for militarism now. Manpower takes time to mobilize after all. Computing machine is done. Let's proceed to improved computing machine. I'm going to need a total of 4 military factories to keep my production consistent. Logistics company. Let's add recon to our unit. Limited conscription, please. Yes, we have almost 2,000 manpower now. And militarism. We have completed logistics company research and now time for signal. How's Japan doing in the war against China? Quite well. Militarism is done. Let's get some more factories. Weapons too. Fall of Nanjing. Do we have to get involved yet? Not yet. Let's get an army logistics expert. Add the signal companies to our lineup. How is the unit doing? Quite well. It's missing manpower, but apart from that, it's fine. Let's get some extra factories from this. Buying some steel to speed up our production. Germany claims memo. And advanced computing machine. How's our manpower mobilization? Slow. Probably should have done militarism a bit earlier. Infantry equipment 2. Here we come. It is tempting to jump into this war right now and just press on with what we have, but we actually have to be patient for this to work. Fate of Czechoslovakia. Zog submits to Italy. Nothing new here. Shaanxi capitulates. We're probably going to join in, I don't know, maybe about a year. I'm actually going to reduce the size of this unit to make sure they can get enough manpower in it once we attack. Lot of Ribbentrop and so on doesn't concern us. Let's do equipment effort. I would like to be able to do equipment 3 already. Yeah, I really should have done militarism immediately. Poland refuses German ultimatum and the war begins. Poor Poland. While we pursue equipment 3. Infantry weapons 3 to be exact. I think it's time to send you guys to China. We are in the Japanese faction, so we can enter the territory. Let's make sure you guys garrison the port here. It's gonna take them a while to sail there. It's good to have them in position once everything starts, and I'm going to give access to the Germans and the Italians. They are not at full manpower, but they should receive reinforcements once they arrive in China. Poland's still holding on. Barely, but it is. Bulgaria joins the Axis, that's pretty quick, and Poland capitulates. Well, I wanted to do weapons 3, but that's way too long. I'm gonna use a different bonus on that. So let's do support weapons 3. Whilst we do a focus, not this one, cancel. Equipment effort 3 instead, and we'll use that on those infantry weapons. Have you guys arrived yet? Almost. Belgium capitulates. Let's watch France get destroyed. Paris is taken, and there goes France. Denmark is under attack from Germany. Equipment effort 3 is done, which means we can start doing weapons 3. See, we have very limited resources, and I mean manpower here. So once we start fighting, we have to make sure we get the most out of it. And apparently we have taken control of foreign affairs. Weird. I wanted to add more infantry, but I think I'll add more artillery here instead. 2 artillery to be exact, and 1 more infantry, creating the classic 7-2 unit. We will have just enough manpower to fill it up once the fighting starts. Hungary joins Axis, Yugoslavia is under attack, and so on. Alright, once they reach the next experience level, we will be joining the war on China. Infantry equipment 3, finally. Finland accepts Soviet demands. That never stopped the communists from attacking. Full organization, full preparation bonus. Time to join the fight against China. Accept. There we go. Now make me proud. And we do need a few % of war participation in order to be able to make demands. Actually, attacking over a river here is probably not the best choice, is it? This will take time and requires patience on our part. I decided to relocate down south. We should have an easier time making gains here. We need some war participation. 3. That is not a lot. Let's try and push for some more victory points. Perhaps we can make that happen. We seem to be making gains. Our troops are quite powerful, so we're gonna get some serious participation from that. Eventually. I do have to direct them into weak enemy provinces so we can actually take territory and get participation from that. If we see a weakly defended province, we push into it. But make sure you don't get surrounded. 2% already. And Romania joins the Axis. Keep pushing. If we can get to their victory points, that will be a big gain for us. Let's do technology sharing. That'll give us some useful bonuses. This bit here looks poorly defended. Let's go. They seem to have concentrated their defenses here. No problem, I'm just gonna change the plan. Alright, they look vulnerable, let's go. And so on, it's gonna take some time. Capital is undefended. Are they gonna capitulate now? Almost. Gold cut off, we have to help the Japanese attack. Otherwise we'll be in big trouble. Supplies back. Again, continue our strategy of attacking poorly defended provinces and getting participation from it. The more we take, the better off we'll be at the peace conference. 3%. That is already quite decent. Always look for the most vulnerable spot so you don't waste your resources. For example, now it's this. They have reinforced, so we might need to pull back. But we might still win. Yeah, there we go. See, this war is going to be won by the Japanese, and we won't really influence that very much. But what we can do is maximize our participation. Another undefended province. There we go. The Chinese will surrender momentarily. Let's see what we can get at the peace conference. There it is. Oh, we didn't even need to take this. Okay. What did Japan do? They puppeted Xinjiang and Yunnan and took a lot of stuff. Okay, that's good, because they have not puppeted communist China. So now we're going to shadow puppet China. But Taureor, you'll say, shadow puppeting has been fixed and it no longer works. Well, yes and no. It kinda works, and that kinda is enough for us. So if you don't remember, shadow puppeting was puppeting someone with no states whatsoever, and you can't do that anymore. The puppet option is removed. However, you can puppet someone with just one cheapest state. Like this, for example. This is a good state to puppet China with. Let's do that. It is not as elegant as regular shadow puppeting, but if I untake all these states now, China will be puppeted with just this one bit, and it will be our puppet for very cheap. And Japan has no interest in these provinces other than to make a puppet, so they will all be mine. So let's end the turn. See, they did not take anything. What we can do now is pass, and pass, and then pass more, and keep passing all the time until we have enough war score. Just don't click done accidentally. Annex everything. Witness shadow puppeting reborn. Iceland owns China. And a lot of factories there too. Cancel all these support things and just focus on infantry equipment. We are going to produce guns for a while, and then we're going to proceed to conquer Japan, I think. I'm going to disband the unit. We don't need it anymore. Now we wait. What do we wait for? We wait for Japan to invite Siam to join its faction. It is going to be crucial to our plans. They have a focus, they can do alliance with Siam, but we have to time everything right. So there is really no use making our moves before they select the focus, because it could take them some time to do so. Japan declared war on the Philippines. That was to be expected. Now strike on the southern resource area, that's fine, and I think they will do alliance with Siam afterwards, but I don't remember. And once they do alliance with Siam, well, then we turn against them. Or to be more precise, when they start doing alliance with Siam. You know what, we should probably act fast to make it happen. Let's release communist China as a puppet. And yes, we can have two Chinas as puppets. That works out perfectly. What are we going to do now? Well, we are going to make colonial divisions from China. Chinese Empire. We have reorganized Nationalist China and Chinese Empire with the same flag. The smallest unit is probably this one, just 4 infantry. That's fine. Let's copy the template, edit it down to just 1, and deploy them over in China. And then we are going to station them in Japan. 216 divisions will be just the number we need. Hungary proclaims Greater Hungary. United Mexican States join the Allies, deploying units. 216 units distributed into 3 armies. 2 of them will be garrison armies, which is why they have more troops. You are going to garrison the south of Japan. You are going to garrison the middle of Japan. You are going to garrison the north. You are going to garrison all of Japan. And you are going to garrison mainland Japan. We're going to help them defend their territory. We are in the same faction after all, aren't we? Okay, let's let them get in position. And Japan is doing alliance with Siam. Perfect. Let's wait for our guys to get in position and then we can leave the faction. Why would we leave the faction? Let's start justifying a war goal on Siam. But we have to leave the faction before Japan finishes the focus. In the meantime, our guys can enjoy supply in Japanese territory. Unfortunately, I accidentally stopped recording, but you haven't lost much. Essentially, Japan was about to finish their focus to get Siam to join their faction. So, before they finished the focus, I left the faction, but kept troops in their territory and spammed H so that they wouldn't try to return home, and continued justifying on Siam, and now we're waiting for the war goal to be ready, so you haven't really missed anything. I'm also stockpiling infantry equipment. I've checked something and I found an interesting thing happened. I have switched one of these units to a 20 width infantry unit, and it got the manpower delivered, even though they are exiled, so I can actually do that. Our war goal against Siam is complete. We could just attack, but I have a better idea. What we're going to do is rejoin the Japanese faction for a moment because they are inviting us in. Accept. Now let's see if the Japanese will send some troops off the islands now that we are defending them. The war goal is valid for 2 months, so we don't have to hurry too much. Quit India movement, a problem for the British, but not for me. It doesn't seem like they want to leave. Alright, I guess that is enough. We have received all the supplies we could receive. Let's declare war on Siam. To do that, I'm going to leave the Japanese faction. Leave faction. And immediately I'm going to attack Siam. I'm also going to halt all my troops so they don't try returning home. On pause and keep halting them. Oh no, actually their organization went to 0, so the exercise was pointless. That's unfortunate. I was mistaken. I thought they would keep 20% organization when I did that. We have attacked Japan with Order 66. We do have some troops in their territory. They are well equipped but not supplied at all. And we have captured just 1 port, it seems, which is not great. We'll have to manage somehow. Right, let's do some manual management so that we can capture the territories here. Let's make sure to connect our lands as best we can. They don't have a lot of troops, but their troops are better than our troops. This is going to involve a lot of manual management if we want to have any hope of success here. Oh, wait a minute, Tokyo is mine. Really? Well, that is surprising. Yeah, it brings them very close to capitulation, but taking the remaining provinces is going to be much more difficult. You try and attack Osaka, you try and move towards Hiroshima, and the entirety of these guys will have to converge on Nagasaki. Lots of manual commands were given, and the Japanese are probably going to overrun most of our troops, but we will still be able to do some stuff. And as we have captured a lot of civilian factories, even though they haven't registered yet, I'm actually going to build a lot of ports, because we need supply. Now, it would be good to do plans and all that, but let's first make the initial moves. Let's see how well we can do. Probably not very well. Our troops are very small units and quite weak, but who knows, maybe it will work out. And after the initial moves are complete, after we capture some of the territories that are capturable here, we're going to form front lines. And we're being invited into the Allies. Yes, please. Perhaps we'll get some Lend-Lease, or maybe some American troops even. That would be quite helpful indeed. It's important to remember that our troops are extremely weak. I could theoretically increase their manpower drastically, but it's not likely to make much of a difference in this situation. We'll just try it as is. It seems like the Japanese do have the upper hand, but once I establish control of an area with a port, we might be in a pretty good position. These units are very small, we'll get stacking penalties and all that, but if we can connect the northern territories, for example, and then surround Kanto, we will be alright. Or if I can take Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or maybe Osaka, we'll win. If we can take those victory points, that will be our victory, I think, as the name victory points might indicate. Actually, if we take this province, these guys will be without supply and they'll just die. I do have this port, so these guys are without supply, which means they're as good as dead. How's my naval base construction? Slow. You advance towards Hiroshima. Maybe they left it undefended, who knows? They probably didn't, but it's sometimes good to try these things. Come on, and we have connected. Perfect. I hold Tokyo, and I'm about to take Nagasaki. Will that be enough to make them capitulate? I don't think so. I need Osaka or Hiroshima as well, I think. This means I can actually start using front lines here. Alright, and how's the mainland part of the army? Quite well, actually. I think I'm going to use infinite Chinese manpower on everything now. We are getting Lend-Lease from the Allies, after all. Come on, infinite Chinese manpower. This is not looking too good down south, but if I can secure this region quickly, let's just try and force that, shall we? Then I can reassign all these troops down south and have them push towards Hiroshima and Osaka, and hopefully, eventually, they will succeed. Yeah, I probably should have done the infinite Chinese manpower thing much earlier. As my participation, 32. I have the most participation. Cool. We have taken Hiroshima, we have taken Nagasaki, and we have taken Osaka, but they retook Tokyo, which is enough to keep them afloat. But my troops are about to march into Tokyo. If it's not defended, we should win. Is this enough to make them capitulate? It is indeed enough to make them capitulate, so we're about to get a peace conference with Japan. If we hold all of these until midnight, we win. And... whoa. Ah, crap. How did this happen? Damn that midnight cutoff point, and not immediate success. God damn it. How did I lose Tokyo? Alright, not all is lost. We can still make it happen. Fall of Kiev does not concern me at all. We have the most... No, we don't have the most. How does the United Kingdom have more war score than I do? No matter, doesn't matter. As the Allies, we can change government, but of course we're fascists, so we could change Japan to fascism. I could use this just like shadow puppeting, so that the British wouldn't be able to do it to them, and I would get all the territory, unless the Americans want to steal some. Okay, what we're gonna do is take all states, then untake something super cheap, like the islands here, Kurila Islands, untake all these states. I do have a lot of war score, so I'll be able to take quite a lot anyway. All these Chinese provinces are very valuable to me because of the manpower that they provide. On the other hand, the Japanese provinces are very valuable to me because of the factories that they provide. Oh, wait a minute. I almost gave stuff to Britain. Wait a minute, it shows Japan as my subject, but I did select to change government, so are they going to be my puppet or not? I'm not going to risk them not being my puppet, so I'm just going to take stuff myself, but perhaps I could have just fed them. Okay, and turn. I just accidentally gave this to Japan. Oh well, at least I'll know if they're my puppet or not after this. I accidentally did this because I forgot to deselect them. Let's pass a couple of times, so I can take the rest of Japan now. All in all, this is a pretty good outcome for us. I wonder what will happen to Japan, if they are my puppet or not. If they are, I can still use this to steal their manpower, but compared to Chinese manpower, that's nothing. Okay, end turn. Done. Show me Japan. Is Japan my puppet, or is it not? Japan is not my puppet. Okay, so it's good that we didn't give them stuff. Okay, perfect. We now have 178 factories, quite a bit of manpower, but we'll have more very soon. And what else? Well, now we can get involved in some other wars. Iceland strong. Also, we are in the Allies. We might get thrown out. Anyway, Japan's mine. Well, we're still at war. Just with Siam, but Siam is not a great power. It became one. Well, that's not gonna last long, is it? Okay, let's just get these guys to Siam. Maybe we'll get some more war score. And some more territory. There's a little bit of a problem, or rather there will be, probably. See, we have created quite a bit of world attention. A bit too much. Essentially, the Allies are going to throw us out of the faction, very likely. So there are a few things we can do here. But I think I will try Order 66ing the Allies, just because the United Kingdom is likely to declare war on me at some point, because I'm Iceland and they do that. So I have started preparing lots and lots of units that I will send over to all the allied countries. The most difficult ones to get will be the United States and the United Kingdom, because, you know, I have to cross an ocean to get there. So what we're gonna do is just send all of these guys here to the United States while we still can. The second thing we're going to do is deploy a lot of units both in China and in Iceland and start sending them off to allied countries while we still can. It is theoretically possible they will not throw me out, but I wouldn't count on that. We're still in the same war against Siam, so theoretically we shouldn't be thrown out. But the AI keeps changing, so it's not a given. So we might have time until the war against Siam is over, but we might also not. And here it is. The United Kingdom has thrown us out of the faction. It is a problem, but it is not the end of the world. We can still make this happen. How would we make this happen? Well, we are no longer a member of the Allies, but we are in the same war as all of them against Siam. So what we can actually do is go to diplomacy and ask them for military access and docking rights. First, docking rights though. I'm not entirely sure if you need docking rights to land troops in their territory, but we're going to do so just to be safe. And that goes for everyone here. Alright, they're all asked for docking rights now. And while I don't need docking rights from everybody, I asked everybody just to make sure I did not forget anything. There is a cooldown on diplomatic actions, so we have to wait a moment and then ask for military access. We have a common enemy, so they will all accept. I wonder, if I improved relations with the British previously, would they keep me in the faction? Well, it's too late for that now anyway. Everyone has been asked for military access. That's quite a lot of messages to accept. Unfortunately, we do not have enough convoys to start transporting our troops yet, so this might get a bit tricky depending on when the British decide to attack me, because they're very likely to attack me. I'm going to start a non-aggression pact with the British. Not sure if that will help. It might. And offer them military access, because if they have troops in my territory... Oh, they're asking for it. Sure, I'll accept. If they have troops in my territory, they shouldn't be able to attack me. And I'll improve relations. Can I send them Lend-Lease? Would this change anything? I don't think so, but I want to try it. Now, if Lend-Leasing affects this, it doesn't matter what I send. So I'm going to send them 1 support equipment per month. Now, I don't think all of this will prevent them from attacking me, but why not try it? Because we need all the time we can get to prepare our attack. Or rather, our counterattack. We can deploy some troops. Good. Deploy all the troops we can and construct more units. Now, we have deployed an equivalent of 3 armies over in Iceland. One of these armies is going to stay home just in case of an invasion, and 2 of them are going to Britain. We can no longer use the garrison orders because we're not in the same faction, but I can do this manually. It's more work, but it works just as well. If my plan to delay the British attack is successful, we'll have more time than we need. If it isn't, well, then we'll have to join the Axis and destroy them together, I guess. Anyway, for now, you guys travel to San Francisco once you have the convoys. Having troops in the United States and United Kingdom should theoretically be enough to end the war, if that becomes necessary, but I will also station troops in other places. I'll take the non-aggression pacts, except for Japan, because we might have a use for that. British Raj has cancelled the Lend-Lease, and I can't take anything from Siam because I do not have any war score. We're being invited to the Axis. We're not going to accept, at least not yet. This is almost a sure way to make the British attack me. I think they will do it anyway, but I'm hoping I can station my troops in their territory before that happens. I wonder if the Lend-Lease trick will work. You guys are en route to Britain. Good. Creating some armies for easier management. Let's get one of them to the Dutch East Indies, one of them to British Malaya. You take care of the Philippines. You go to New Zealand. This will involve huge amounts of manual management, unfortunately, but there's not much I can do about that if I want to succeed. Alright, you guys, South Africa. The first of our troops have arrived in Glasgow. Wonderful. Now I'm going to switch them to the Chinese ones to free up some manpower. I mean, actually I could have switched them immediately. I should do the same to the ones here. I needed to train them as not colonial templates so that they would deploy closer to Britain. Alright, I have everything set up. Took me a very long time to do this. Essentially, I've sent troops to all the countries we're going to be invading, and I've given them orders. For example, this army here is covering this part of the United States, and all of them are going to ports. And they have a garrison order, so once we start being at war, they will distribute themselves from the ports to all the other bits. Similarly, this army is handling this bit of the United States, and this army is handling this part. They're going to the ports and then using garrison orders to conquer all the rest. This will all be executed automatically once we get into the war. This army handles Canada and Alaska, one should be sufficient, and this army handles Mexico. That was just the first army group. Here we have Dutch East Indies, British Malaya, bits of that too, Dutch East Indies and bits of Australia, Maine, Australia, Philippines, New Zealand, South Africa, British Raj. These guys are defending my Japanese assets, north of the British Isles, middle of the British Isles, south of the British Isles. These armies I've just sent around the countries here to make some confusion around the area. And you guys are defending my home from naval invasions. And the final army was given just frontline orders around China. Oh, and these guys will protect my shores from Allied interference. I have given all these orders. Once these guys are distributed, we are pretty much ready to kill off all the Allies. Anyway, what I could do is join the Axis and send another army group to invade the Soviet Union and thus get a little bit of war score. So why not do just that? Let's deploy more units. And yes, I know I could use theaters. I don't like doing it. Interesting, Poland is cancelling our non-aggression pact, and so is Greece. Lots of troops in Britain, they won't stand a chance. Of course, there are very small units. I will change them to bigger ones later. Time to start working on reorganized nationalist China's independence. We are going to start lend-lease to them. I'll just send them convoys because now we have a lot. Let's check their independence. It's at 800. I'm going to send them almost all of our convoys. Okay, let's do that. We can produce more. We are producing more. Netherlands moves government to Batavia. Not really my problem, at least not yet. And all those convoys I'm sending them are going to drop their independence to 0, and I'll be able to just annex them. Oh, seems like we've sent them. Let's have a look. Yes, we can now annex reorganized nationalist China, but that would be a waste of an opportunity. What we're going to do is first give them back all this territory. So, occupied territories, reorganized nationalist China, return territory. Here you go, it's yours now. Great. Now, how much manpower do you have with all that territory? 4 million. Just 4 million, not too much. We're going to steal that, of course. How are we going to steal that? Well, let's just deploy everyone here. We have a 1,000-unit army here just for this purpose. We're going to create a colonial template from reorganized nationalist China. It doesn't really matter what the template is, it just needs to be big. Alright, infantry template 6. Let's take that one. This is a reorganized nationalist China template. So it's going to drain their manpower. Let's go to template 6. Alright, and have a look at their manpower. We need to unpause for a moment for this to take effect. 0. All their manpower was put in these units here. So what are we going to do now? Well, of course, we are going to annex them. It's going to take a moment. We have annexed them, and I got all my convoys back. See? So giving convoys to subjects to annex them is a good deal. Alright, so now I'm going to switch these guys back to the Chinese Empire template, this one, and I'm getting all that manpower back in my manpower pool. But that's not all, we're going to do the same thing to these guys. However, they are more independent, so we'll need to give them more stuff. Ooh, the United Kingdom is cancelling our non-aggression pact. This could prove problematic. They could attack me at any moment. I'm still sending them lend-lease, but they could attack me at any moment. Good news is my troops are all in position, ready to kill them. So what we're going to do now is switch them all to a different unit template. Template 4. Yeah, 20 with regular infantry, that will work. Great. Let's select all these units, all the ones I've sent around the world to conquer our enemies, or rather to lie in wait, waiting for our enemies to strike at us. And we're going to switch them to infantry template 4, which is 20 with infantry. We don't have the equipment, but we will. Alright, and same goes to these guys. Chinese Empire, are you out of manpower yet? No, you're not. You still have some. Good. So all of these guys will not have a lot of equipment, which can be a bit of a problem, but they will have a lot of manpower. And they should be able to handle the unsuspecting allies if Britain attacks me. They have cancelled the non-aggression pact, after all, so it is possible that they will. But I'm still sending them lend-lease. So I think that might be preventing them from declaring war on me. Also, my guys have military access in all the countries they are stationed in, and I have a lot of convoys to supply them, so we shouldn't really have too much attrition, especially since most of them are stationed in ports. Now, of course, we need 1,000,000 guns to equip them, which can be a bit of an issue, but I'm working on it. Turkish Empire joined the Axis. Nice. It would be a good moment to join the Axis, but I would like to settle my things in China first. Delivery efficiency at 0%. Why would that be? Why can't I send them stuff? Why is the Lend-Lease not working? Something's wrong here. Let's redo the whole Lend-Lease. Chinese Empire has insufficient convoys, so I can't send them convoys because they don't have convoys. Is that it? Does that mean I'll just have to build stuff there? That is annoying as hell. I can't move stuff from here to here. I have the convoys. Oh, bloody hell. I suppose I could give them back their territory, then they should be able to receive all this Lend-Lease. But that will also lower my production potential. Whatever, sure, I'll do it. Occupy territories. Chinese Empire, return. Territory, there you go. 7 million. Cool. Plus all the manpower that's in our units, so we'll have like 20 million total. So how about that Lend-Lease now? Do you have to build your own convoys for this to work? Did I even give them any dockyards? I don't know. Let's build them some dockyards just so they can get convoys so that I can send them stuff for free. Why the hell not? One of convoy has been delivered. Wonderful. Now this one convoy, oh, this is exciting. This one convoy can now take all the other convoys and ferry them to China. How weird is that? Anyway, we'll be able to lower their autonomy shortly. Just to let you know, in my test game, because I usually test these strategies at least partially, Britain attacked me in a very similar situation. However, I was not sending them Lend-Lease at the time. So my conclusion is, if you don't want someone to attack you, just send them Lend-Lease. It might work. Oh, and we have researched nuclear weapons. Wonderful. I've been also working on planes. Also, I'm gonna start building nuclear reactors in Japan. One more delivery and they're mine. And now we can annex the Chinese Empire. But first, let's make sure we steal all that manpower. They have 4.2 million we are not currently using. Fortunately, I have troops that can use that. There you go. It should drain instantly. Oh, and there it is, 0 manpower. Good. Now I can annex them. Annexing China again. Okay, that does it for China. I think it might be time to join the Axis. Let's declare war on the Soviet Union. 30 days. I guess that works. I can wait for 30 days. One army is ready to invade from Mongolia and 4 armies are waiting to be transferred to Germany. Our war goal against the Soviet Union is complete. Let's attack, and I will join the Axis if they'll have me. Declare war, conqueror. Don't call any allies because I don't have any allies. And you guys, invade. Also, let's get some more commanders. I can afford a couple. Now we're at war with the Soviet Union. Mongolia is not likely to want to join, so let's justify a war goal on them as well. And the Axis is inviting me in. Yes, gladly. We have joined the Axis. Now, there's a good chance we'll get attacked by Britain now, unless my Lend-Lease trick still works. Now, let us send some troops over to Germany, from where they will assist in their attack of the Soviet Union and earn some war participation for us. It's interesting, by the way, Chinese portraits, but Icelandic names. Freyr Agesson. Cool. And after the Soviet Union is done for, we can turn against the Allies. Lend-Lease from the Germans. Yes, please. 15,000 guns a month. That will prove useful. As you can see, the game has slowed down significantly. Unfortunately, that's what happens late in the game. Unfortunately, the Soviet Union is about to capitulate and I have no war score yet. This is a bit of a problem. Oh well, maybe I'll at least get Mongolia. And here's my justification, declare war. Yeah, Soviet Union is about to capitulate and I will get nothing. That's a pity. Well, not nothing, I have 1%, which means Germany will take almost everything, and I might snag Mongolia or something like that. I definitely should have joined this war earlier. 2%, more than I expected. And that's the end of the Soviet Union. Yeah, we didn't get anything, did we? Oh, no, it's not the end of the Soviet Union. There's still a little bit here. Oh well, at least I got my little bits here. It's better than nothing. But again, I should have joined this war when it became apparent that the United Kingdom is not going to attack me. New Mongol Empire, cool. And lots of British troops stuck in German territory. If the Brits don't attack me, I'll just attack Japan, and then all the allies will join and be eliminated. The British Parliament debates intervention in Scandinavia. Well, there is going to be some intervention in the British Parliament soonish. I've decided to wait a bit with my attack, because I want to have a better amount of guns for my people. The situation is as follows. I have assigned more units to the United States and Canada just to make sure we take them out quickly. And I've also trained 1,000 more cavalry units that I'm about to send to the United States. All the while we are producing guns. Now I would need to keep producing them for 2 more years to have enough for everyone, but we can have almost enough for everyone, and that will be good too. The beauty of 1,000 cavalry battalions traveling to invade. My 1,000 horses just arrived in the United States. Time to distribute them. This is going to take me a very long time. I have never seen orders behave like this before. I might have too many units in this army. Maybe. I definitely think the United States have too many provinces. I am currently in the process of distributing 1,000 cavalry units all around the United States. Doing it manually is a hell of a lot of work. Look how I torture myself for you guys. This has all been done manually. We're going to take out the United States this way. The places that have their troops will still be defended. My troops can't beat their troops. But we can surround them and cut them off from supply, and then who knows? We should at least have enough time to secure the ports and have a full-scale assault. Alright, let's not delay anymore because we'll run out of game time. I'm just going to justify a war goal on Japan. They have 3 bits. That's fine. This is all cavalry, but I'm going to go 1 up on this and switch them all to infantry. Unpause for a moment, let the manpower get in, and we're about to have our war goal on Japan. National Spain joins Axis, cool, that's gonna be helpful, I think. Fall of Gibraltar, yeah, because Spain joined, yes. Our justification on Japan is ready. We could attack now, but I'll wait for, the manpower to pour into these units, at least partially. Current fighting strength 4%. You know what, this might have been a mistake. Let's use a different template, maybe. Yeah, the Binyal division seems like a better choice. Let's do that instead. And what else? Well, the war goal is valid for 2 months, so we can wait a little bit for the manpower to be distributed, at least partially. I think we are pretty much ready. Our guys have received their manpower, and of course they don't have the equipment, but manpower actually makes them much more resilient to enemy attacks. So the plan is these guys will essentially hold the US units in place, while I should be able to destroy them from this side. Will that work? I don't know. Let's see, shall we? Declare war on Japan. Now, all the allies should start joining this war, and I'm prepared for, a fight with all of them, more or less. I could use more generals. United Kingdom is pretty much taken care of, but the United States are the problematic one. Yes, please, I would love some Lend-Lease, and the United Kingdom has been called in. Alright, the Order 66 on the United Kingdom should work perfectly. Yes, and so it does. And the guys already have garrison orders, so I don't even need to do anything manually. They will destroy the Brits on their own. France has been called in, and the United States. Alright, this is important. And it takes a while to process. Let's have a closer look at the United States. Okay, most of the territory is actually mine. Good. So now we need to transition to frontline orders. How do we do that? I suppose I'll just take all of these guys and cancel their garrison order. Select all the units from this army closest to a pocket of resistance. And give them a frontline order. And repeat that. Since this army is so big, they will not be getting the command bonuses, but we should be fine even without that. We have also captured quite a lot of factories. This is looking alright. I've set up front lines around everything, pretty much. Now this is of course not perfect, and many of them will die, but I am ready for such a sacrifice. Activate orders. I'm curious to see how this works out. It might not work out at all. We don't really have ports but we have military access through Canada, so we're actually getting supplies through Canada until they join the war. I'm also going to build some ports. Let's go and see if this actually works. The problem is that my troops are much weaker than the American troops, but if I can isolate the American troops and perhaps destroy some of them, I should be able to establish a firm foothold in the area before they can strike back. See, we're already closing some of the gaps. Granted, some of them might not even have troops in them. It's a possibility. I just painted front lines everywhere, but once a gap closes, the troops will be redirected to a different one. Also, the United Kingdom is very close to capitulation. United States are very far from it. Let's check on the United Kingdom. Oh, did I take London? I did not expect to take London so quickly. I actually wanted to do some more fighting in here, but you know what? You guys do your thing. If you win, great. Doing alright in San Francisco, not so good in Los Angeles, poorly in San Diego, acceptable in Portland. I hope the Germans will come, land some troops here and destroy the Americans. United Kingdom will be capitulating very soon. Well, I was hoping to actually get a lot of war score from them, but it doesn't really... Oh, here it goes, they capitulated. Doesn't really matter that much because we'll still get a lot from just fighting the United States in all these pockets. The game is barely running, so much is happening. They are calling everyone in, but I'm set up quite well in here. Also, we'll have German help. Oh, did we actually take out some pockets? Possibly. Venezuela joined the Axis, so South America is getting involved. I really could use some German presence in here. It's likely that the Americans will strike back from here. So it's important for us to secure a lot of their territory before they can actually consolidate. New Zealand capitulates, that's fine. Australia capitulates, and we're working on our first nukes. Are we doing on victory points against the United States? Not so great. Seattle is ours. Time to proceed to Vancouver. This looks like I have them in my pocket, but all these bits that actually have the Americans in them are very well fortified and difficult to take. Canada capitulates, finally. Let's see, is there a lot of land to mop up? No, not really. This is actually looking better than I expected. As you can see, a swarm of millions of Chinese men, even without guns, can do quite a lot. Let's check on Asia, I haven't done that in a while. Oh, this is not looking great. They're actually pushing us back. This is not such a big deal because we have Germans on our side and eventually will prevail, but I was hoping it would be better up here. No matter, defeating the United States is our main concern right now. The rest will fall into place. British Malaya capitulate. I haven't checked on South Africa yet. Nope, all our guys there died. How about Australia? We took Australia and we took New Zealand. Good. Malaya and the like are fine. Looking good. Although the US has tremendous military might just in these few provinces, it will be very difficult to get them out of here, but if we control everything else, we can just concentrate our attacks and eventually we will succeed. That's the theory. Oh, and we did take all the port land next to Portland. Good. Vichy France is attacking India from the south, which is something. And of course we hold Britain. How about Ireland? Not so good on Ireland. Almost everything is ours. Almost. I could actually use some nukes right about now. We only have 3 nuclear reactors. Yunnan capitulates. Good. Vietnam, and who else? United Mexican States. Oh, that's actually cool. We will be able to free up a lot of troops to fight the United States. We seem to have reached a bit of a stalemate here. Manchu capitulated, and I really could use some German troops down here. Our progress has stagnated. We can't really conquer anything from the United States right now. Who capitulates? Menjiang? Manchukuo, essentially. Let's check on Asia in the meantime. The Hui Republic is standing strong, but Manchu is taken care of. So is Manchukuo. We might actually want to give the Germans a little bit of territory in the Americas. Maybe they will land their troops if we do that. Come, I guess you can take these 3? Come on, bring your troops. Not doing so well up north. Come on, Germans, I could use your help, really. Yeah, it's quite a struggle, isn't it? Really should have worked on these nukes a bit earlier. But we're working on them now. Cambodia capitulates. Brings me closer to victory, of course. Yeah, they are actually pushing back, aren't they? I need to get nuking, and soon. British Raj finally capitulates. That leaves just Thailand and United States and Japan, surprisingly. I will do a tactical nuke. Just drop one in a province we're currently attacking, which should destroy their troops. Or at least make them much easier to defeat. Thailand finally capitulates. What if I give them some more territory? You can have Florida and the one next to it. Maybe that will be enough to motivate you to actually do something against the United States. Now we get a nuke a month, but we're working on getting more. I really hope you guys will be moving to the new world soon. Oh, I have another idea. I'm going to grant a little bit of territory to each of the other Axis powers, and perhaps they will bring some troops here as well. So for example, Italy, you can have a bit here. Spain, you can have another bit. What else do we have here? Romania. How would you like to come to the new world with me? Hungary. And Vichy France. Please come and help me. I have exhausted my military capabilities. Oh, here come the Germans. Good. Oh, bloody hell, I'm losing all the territory I've spent so much time getting. I really need some help here, or they will push back completely. Maybe if I just keep nuking all their victory points, they'll surrender eventually. Did all my work here go to waste? I hope not, but then again... No, actually, it seems like all the other Axis powers are coming, finally, so hopefully we can push them back again. Let's nuke Washington. Why not? Boom. How's your war support? Seems like they eliminated most of my forces here, like almost all of them. In that case, no wonder they're pushing back. Unfortunately, I will have to rely on the Axis. Now, Germany, why couldn't you do that, like, a year ago? Hopefully now we can destroy them. Germany has finally come to help, and so has Spain. And I think I can see France and Italy too. Okay. Let's just give it some time, and victory should be ours. Alright, let's nuke Indianapolis. The nukes don't really do anything, do they? Nukes, one of the most disappointing things in this game. Alright, let's use them tactically. See where the Germans are attacking. Like, the Germans... No, the Spanish actually are attacking Toronto. Cool, let's assist them with a nuke. See? Instant help. 1, 2, 3, 4... That should do it. Come on. Boom. Nukes suck. Nukes are just pathetic. They do almost nothing. You need like 100 to move the front line. So I think I might install some mods that buff nukes so they actually have a purpose in the game. Let's just drop one on Washington and watch. There's what, 12 units here. Kinda well equipped. Well, what it did is reduce their strength by more or less half. That's not what should have happened. What should have happened is that there should be a big hole where Washington used to be. Okay, we have nuked Washington, and finally, the peace conference has happened. We have the most war score of everyone involved, so let's make this work in our favor, shall we? Right, and that's the end of the peace conference. Let's see how much we got. Liberation of Paris. Yay! Germany took 50 states, we took 86. And we have also puppeted some people. Free American Empire, my puppet. And the British, although Britain didn't get all of its stuff. But hey, 1 million manpower is something. Let's see how much manpower the Americans have left. Oh, we've nuked you so much. 18 million manpower, can you imagine that? My manpower situation is rather pathetic. Perhaps I should annex these two to make up for that. Let's send them Lend-Lease. Some convoys to the United States and some convoys to the British Empire. Okay, I think it's time to annex the Americans now. Right, they're all the National Guard units. Let's unpause. And all of the manpower is in our troops. Now I can annex the United States. Okay, it has been annexed. So there you have it. It's 1948, so I really don't feel like playing the game anymore. We could try and order 66 Germany and Italy and France and Spain and Hungary and Romania while declaring war on Croatia. Oh, and Turkey and Greece as well. It could theoretically work, yes. But I don't think we have enough time, and I'm very tired of this playthrough. It took me weeks to complete, so I think it's enough that we have taken North America and Greenland and bits of Britain, parts of Africa, most of India, China and a lot of areas around it, Philippines, Australia, Japan, bits of Russia, and New Zealand, as Iceland. So we're going to end the video here. I really do hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of work. Anyway, if the video gets enough likes, I will do 1939 Luxembourg. And then I can finally be back to some nice and pleasant games like Poland. So let me know in the comments how you liked it. We started with 1000 manpower and 0 factories, and here we are. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.